Toyota is working on a car, they're spending money on a car that cleans the air. In other words, the air that comes out of the tailpipe is cleaner than the air the car is driving around in. So Virgin Air is trying to figure out if they can run their fleet on biofuels. Apple is trying to make iPods that you can eat when you're done. GE, who's a client we're working with, has developed these things called organic LED lights. Now, a lot of you know that LED lights are far more efficient than incandescent lights, far more efficient than fluorescent lights. They don't have mercury, they last a lot longer, use very little energy. And because they're organic, these will actually decompose. You can mulch these lights when we're done. So, what does GE look at? This is one of the greatest opportunities in the history of the world to replace all the artificial light in the world with these kind of sustainable lights. Do you think that's an economic opportunity? Yeah. But right now we're working on a really exciting project with Johnson&Johnson. There's about 3% of the total amount of money spent on healthcare in this country that's spent on prevention. And Johnson&Johnson is about an $80 billion company, and they make medical devices, they make pharmaceuticals, and they make Band-Aids and baby care, right? And what they decided in the past year is that they wanted to start a new division that put the other divisions out of business. Now that's a radical statement. They don't really say that. But they want to figure out, how can we make wellness sustainable? How can we make it so that fewer people need medical devices, fewer people need pharmaceuticals, even fewer people might even need Band-Aids? How could we do that? If that was going to be a business that we would invest in and grow, what would it look like? So the first thing they decided is we got to invite a lot more people to play. We got to invite the workforce to play. We got to invite individual consumers in the marketplace to play. We've got to get community involvement. A lot of this is going to be educational. So we've got to figure out how to make money on education and also provide free education in the communities to people who could never afford to buy it. The corporations can afford to buy the education because their healthcare costs go down, and then we need to recycle that into the community so we lift the whole community so that we have a future. And they said, what could we invent that would really help people? One of the things that's really missing in the wellness piece is really simple, implementable information, but the second thing is follow-up. So they acquired a little startup called Health Media, and what Health Media has designed is a cyber coach. So in other words, it's tailored to exactly what your challenges are in your health world, but you've got a little cyber coach that talks to you and sends videos to you, and it's completely personalized to you. So that's an invention. Now they hope that this will turn into like a $10 billion business. That's a $10 billion business in the next 5 years. So there are companies doing this. Isn't that exciting? So one of the most successful cause marketing campaigns in the history of the universe is Nike and Lance Armstrong coming together for the Live Strong campaign. Because this is an example of doing almost everything right. $70 million in plastic wristbands. They just launched last year, the end of last year, they just launched what's called the Lance Armstrong collection. You can go on their website. 100% of the profits of that collection go to the Cancer Foundation. We all understand what 100% means. That's not hard to figure out. Now, what's very cool is if you go to the Lance Armstrong website, the foundation website, if you want to see a model of a tremendous website, it's a model for any nonprofit, certainly any cause marketing campaign, go to the Lance Armstrong Foundation. Because what they do is very clear. The specific things that they do with their money to help find a cure for cancer are very clear. How you can engage with others is very clear. For instance, if you're struggling with cancer or a cancer survivor, you want to talk to other people who have the same kind of cancer or a cancer survivor of your cancer, you can find them there. There's so many ways to engage with this brand. So Nike and Lance Armstrong are connected on this cure for cancer for the foreseeable future. Nike's in too deep. And it's worked for them. And why does it work for them? Is because it's very consistent with their brand.